Hello and welcome. As of yesterday, we recently got the new content patch for Overwatch called Uprising, which brings a host of new skins, balance changes as well. We got a new PvE mode called Uprising. We got skins themed based off of this event as well, which all look amazing, if I may say so myself. A lot of people are really digging the new Genji skin, Blackwatch Genji. If you have not seen it, Blackwatch McCree, things like that. There's just tons of content if you haven't seen it. So just for starters, this is a new PvE event called Uprising. If you did not play Junkenstein's Revenge, it's pretty much along the same line as that. It's a sort of PvE Hoarders type mode, except the exception with this one is that you actually move throughout the map and you complete objectives and you do things to pretty much move on throughout the rest of the mission. I think this is a great addition to the game simply because Overwatch is a game that's pretty much slacking when it comes to the lore side based of it, but yet there still seems to be a lot of lore on these characters and the backstories of everyone, and it's very rich and people just really do love these characters, and I can completely agree. I absolutely love a lot of the characters' backstories, and it's kind of rare for me to say that to want to look into majority or pretty much all of these characters' backstories, but it just seems like this game has such interesting characters with good dynamics to them, and everyone has something special about them that just makes them kind of stand out from the rest, or just makes them their own entity. And that sorts, just because a character's on the cover doesn't mean that they're going to be the all-star of the game. There's some characters that just have really sad backstories, or there are relationship issues between these characters, there's family issues between these characters, things like that. And with this mode, they recently, I wouldn't even say recently, but they've sort of implemented more backstory even into that. So now you'll know more about Tracer's first mission, joining Overwatch. You'll know more about Reinhardt and Mercy and Torbjorn that have pretty much accompanied her on this mission to help her and the rest of the city pretty much get through this omnic crisis, as they call it. And I love it. I think it's extremely fun. I love the content as of is. The little changes to some of the characters in PvP have been great as well. Lucio now does a lot more damage for some reason. He heals more as well. He is extremely faster from what it seems like. His radius for his heal got decreased as well though. So you'll see like kind of this little circle around your character now that pretty much shows where you're healing and where your speed buff is from now on. It's nowhere near as massive as it used to be, but it's still pretty good. It does more, so you kind of want to make sure that you guys are really grouped together and trying to do it as best as you can. So the best part about this mission that I feel like, or this event, is that every time you go through the mission, there's a cinematic at the beginning. If you haven't seen it, I highly suggest you watch it. It's like a minute and a half, 2 minutes at best. And it gives you the sort of oversight of what you're doing there and why is the reason that Overwatch is there. This is a prequel event to the game, so I think it's like set 10 years in the past. And from what they've shown here, they know how to make a story, man. They know how to really get the characters together and kind of show, well, Overwatch is a game that's based in the future, but we're going to go back in the past and kind of show you guys what's going on and why we're here to begin with. And they've done a pretty good job with that. I kind of wish we had more of it, but they've actually also implemented this little thing where you go and when you pick a hero, in the bottom right corner, you're going to see this little, probably sentence or two that gives you a little bit of a, I guess, quick summary on what the character is based it off of. So I'll even say based off of, or just basically like why they're there, who they are, things like that. And it's very simple. Like I said, it's like a simple sentence or two. It's nothing major, but it's still good, you know, for people that are curious of what this hero is. It'll just give you a quick, you know, read it and you're like, oh, okay, that's interesting, I didn't know that, things like that. So I love it. I love that they're kind of bringing in more story into the game, so you don't have to do, I think, what pretty much Destiny does, which is you have to go on the website and then you have to look up these things called grimoire cards, which Destiny does, which gives you more story based onto the game, which is amazing. If you have not seen any of the grimoire, I highly suggest that you do it. It's really good. I don't even know how to describe it. There's more story in the grimoire cards than there is in majority of games nowadays, which is kind of nuts to think that they actually go out of their way so that every content patch of Destiny they just bring more story. That probably, I'd say probably 2 or 3% of the like community is gonna read. It's kind of nuts. Anyways, enough about Destiny, just an Overwatch video. They haven't really done much with that in this game. Like I said, they pretty much have done just a little bit of tidbits of things you'll see here and there. They might post some stuff online that reveal little tidbits of characters. They might release sprays that even show little tidbits of stuff. And by that, I mean you might see a spray, like, for example, the newest spray that I can think of is the one with Widowmaker and her ex-husband, who she killed. And if you did not know, that's pretty much the reason why Widowmaker looks blue. She killed her husband, and it pretty much slowed the blood I'm trying to figure out the exact words for it. It just pretty much made her skin blue because she was brainwashed and became a Talon operative, as you see. And that's the new skin is called Talon, and it's her before she killed her husband. And it shows them in the spray married, and it shows them all happy and joyous and stuff like that. So it's more of you're going to get content, and we're going to show you more of the side of Overwatch that you don't know, the side of the game that nobody knows because they haven't really shown much of it. This is the side that they're bringing more and more into to get the people that are really interested in this type of stuff. They're giving them more of what they want, and I think that's great. I think that they're giving us more for the people that are really dug into these characters, and they just play them all the time. They absolutely love them and stuff, and they find some sort of relevance into these characters that make them who they are and why they love them, and to give them more, I guess, resemblance, more story into them. I think that's great. Reinhardt's my favorite hero in the game. I play Reinhardt all the time. I love Ana as well. So to see more story based on these two heroes is awesome to me because I play them all the time, and to see that, you know, these are like two really strong heroes in the game, and they're pretty much like, I wouldn't say the emphasis, but they're standing stones. It's great. It's great to see these heroes that I love, and same things as Tracer and stuff like that. The story behind Tracer is pretty interesting. I love it actually. It's something that I don't think I've seen for any character, and that's good at least because you don't want repeat stories for a lot of characters. But she's interesting. She's her own thing. The fact that she's a cover character, and they even, I guess, they thought it was necessary to reveal her sexuality. I mean, it's video games nowadays. People like to do that because I guess they do the things, you know, shipping and, oh, this character belongs with this character, etc., etc. So they released that, and then they kind of made the fact that she's a lesbian and a cover of a video game character kind of a big deal. A lot of people started gravitating more towards Tracer. That is. So overall, the game's just added more in the past month, and from what it seems like, this is a mode that I would hope would stay in arcade. Just because for the fact that it's a change of pace, you know. This is a PvP game. To have a PvE mode just stay for a month that's this well developed, and just to get rid of it seems like kind of a big waste to me. I mean, why would you get rid of something that you spent so much time putting into the game that has so many mechanics? I would even say a lot of mechanics, but there's things here that took time to develop. All this took time to develop. The characters took time to develop. The maps, the systems that they use, the scores, the programming, everything like that. Everything that they put into this took time. This was not easy to do, and to just get rid of it, it just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, with Junkenstein's Revenge, it was very simple. It was pretty much you just stand there and kill waves and waves, and then you complete it after that. But this has some layers to it. Has dialogue, it has story interactions, things like that. They made a cinematic, for fuck's sakes. I mean, they added so much to it. I don't see why they would get rid of it, basically. But it's great. And if you haven't seen any of the new skins at all, you'll pretty much see them also at the end of the video as well. They have the new Tracer skin, which I absolutely love, the new Merge skin, the new Torbjorn skin, the new Reinhardt skin. These are the staple skins for this event, and I think they all look great. I absolutely love the Tracer skin. It makes me want to play Tracer. I don't really like Tracer, but it makes me want to play her to have that. I guess I love the look of it. I'm just one of those people that same thing with Smite. If I love the look of a skin, I'll buy it just so I could play that god. It's just simple for me, I guess. It just makes me want to play more characters. I don't mind Tracer. I just don't have any nice skins for her. So, yeah. Overwatch Uprising has been great for the past day, except for the fact that there's been a lot of server crashes. I don't know if anyone's ever realized that. I'm playing on Xbox One, so if you have had any server crashes or things where it just kicks you out of the servers after a match, let me know. I'm just completely curious because it seems like something that's been happening to only me and a friend of mine. I haven't really heard of it much beyond that. Also in the top right left corner, if you see this little yellow squares of that lightning bolt, for some reason I get a lot of connection issues when I play Overwatch or Smite. It only seems to be these two games, no other games. But also, as you can see, this is wave based. I forgot to go over this because I'm stupid sometimes. But yes, this is wave based. So I wouldn't even say wave based. There's objectives that you have to overtake if you haven't noticed it. There's also story elements. Again, I'm just gonna let it play real quick so you can hear it. I probably talked over it, Sally, but you can hear that you're guided by these heroes. So you'll hear Reyes, aka Reaper, before he was Reaper. You'll hear him talking and guiding you throughout the mission, telling you what the things to do, what you should do, etc., etc. You'll hear Captain Amarari, aka Ana. You'll hear Soldier in his commander days, things like that, and you'll just see them in the top left corner kind of guiding you, telling you what to do for the mission and stuff. You'll see Bastion units that they like to call them. You'll see Orisa, and you'll see like her prototype version, I guess they call it, or the trying to remember the name of it. It's very complicated name because it has like a bunch of letters and stuff like that and numbers. But you'll see like her prototype unit before she was Orisa, you know, the one that we know, the one that we play as, and this was like pretty much the evil, I guess you could say the evil version of her. And you'll see these robots with shields, things like that, that they pop up throughout the level, and each section offers something sort of different. For the first 5 minutes or so, you have to capture these zones. After you capture the zones, and you gotta go protect the zone. You gotta go start up escort for the payload. Basically, you gotta start up the payload. You gotta boot the payload so that it gains like energy, basically, from what they say. And then once it gains the energy, you escort the payload just like any other match. And then from that point on, you escort it to a zone, you blow up a wall, you go in the room, you take out the Orisa units, and then that's pretty much it. That's the basis for this mode. I think it's great. I hope it does stay. Absolutely love it. There also is a play of the game system for this, which is pretty interesting because half of the time it's just, you know, me slapping people around as Reinhardt. Or if you're Thorborn, pretty much if you just kill a bunch of these little guys, there's a very high chance that you're going to get play of the game. I guess that's the thing that they just wanted to implement. It's funny to me. But, let me know if you're enjoying Overwatch Uprising. I think it's great. Absolutely love it. I love the skins. I love the little balance changes that they do. Little simple things so far that they've added to the game. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed the little Overwatch video today. And take care.